Star 94.1.
It's live and local Atlanta, and I'm your host, Alyssa. I'm here with my super amazing friend. She's super fit, super has her life together. I don't even know the right words to say, but I'm here with my friend, DeBlair Tate, and she is knocking down what seems to be impossible doors, but she's making it happen. DeBlair, thank you for joining me today. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. So you have this incredible life. You are a celebrity fitness trainer. You turned that into a health and wealth expert. You're a service member, which, of course, thank you so much for serving our country. We greatly appreciate it. I can't express that enough. But you're also doing something that not even 1% of women are really doing inside our military services. So I want to talk a little bit about all of that and, you know, just dive right into it. So let's start with your background and how you went from a celebrity fitness trainer to really a health and wealth expert.
Yes, that's a journey that was accidentally done. So yes, I started out as a personal trainer, and in the process of me training, I was kind of neglecting my own health. And also I saw that when I was training clients, regardless of who they were, whether they were my regular clients or my celebrity clients, that it was so much more to me just working on their external bodies. It was the internal part that was lacking, because most of our sessions ended up being like mental health sessions or therapy sessions. So I wanted to do more and tap more into it, because we spent a lot of time talking about the things that they were dealing with in their everyday lives. So from there, you know, I knew I wanted to do something for myself and also for them. In the same sense, I developed my health and wellness program and coaching online. So that way I was no longer neglecting myself by always having to be there. And I was also catering to them in the physical and also in the mental realm.
Absolutely. I think that's so incredible to hear. A lot of people just, I feel like, don't realize how much your physical health does tie into your mental health. And it seems like when you do one, the other just kind of naturally falls in place. Although I would say in my experience, when I do physical health, then I start thinking about my mental health. But if I think about my mental health, I don't care about my physical health. Now, I want to talk about, not only are you this health wellness guru, but you also are a service member. And this time of year, everybody really just wants to give back and say praises. And you've done something that is incredibly rare, not only as a woman, but as a Black woman. And I want to talk about what that is exactly in our military services. Can you talk about that?
Yes, absolutely. So I recently promoted to the rank of E9, which in the United States Air Force, it's Chief Master Sergeant, which is the highest rank attainable in the Air Force by an enlisted member. So that it is very rare and difficult to attain that. Most people don't get to that point because they'll either get out or retire prior to that. And it's also hard to reach in regards of like what you're doing. So it takes a lot of resiliency. It takes a lot of discipline and leadership skills in order to get there. And it's even more rare for me, not only being a woman, but a Black woman, to get to that rank. So it's less than 1% overall, but even less than 1% smaller than that being a Black woman.
Absolutely. Can you talk about, you know, the amount of years you spent kind of reaching this point, and, you know, what this really means to in the military and what it means to people in general, so they can get a better understanding of how that system works?
Yeah, so I've been in for 23 years now. I enlisted right out of high school. Well, I talk about it in my book. I snuck behind my family's back and went in. I did a semester in college, and then I signed up. So I started out as a reservist member, but it just takes years of just being consistent, right? It just takes years of being disciplined. I've deployed, you know, it's timing, because like I said, a lot of people don't get to that rank. It also took a lot of me just being selfless and also sacrificing a lot in order to just be focused and knowing what I wanted to attain. It became to a point where it was no longer about me. So when I started serving and started, you know, working for the betterment of others, everything just started falling in place, and I landed here.
Absolutely. And it does sound like you have that natural calling for service and helping others, not just with your service in the military, but also, also with your service to helping others physically and mentally. So it does sound like you've just always had that naturally in you, and you've just kind of flourished it and continued to grow it naturally. And it's incredible to see the garden you've essentially created today. And I want to, ask, how is it that what are some of the skills that have crossed over from your time in the Air Force to your business that you've built with health and wellness?
So definitely the discipline, the sacrifices as well. But number one, the discipline, because you have to be focused in whatever you do. Consistency is key. So I developed the discipline to be consistent in order to get to where I am today. And I apply that to all aspects. Also, just sacrifices that are being made, and also being grateful. Because being in the military, you have to be grateful for the things, because more specifically life, because we put our lives on the line on a regular basis in order to just make sure that our country is in a good place where we don't have to fear. So I look at that as an opportunity to not just take life for granted. So that's why each and every day I strive to be the best, and for others around me to make sure that I'm grateful for the things that I have, and every single day I strive for that. So those are some of the skills that I could not pay for, and the military definitely helped me get those.
Incredible. Now we're right in the heart of holiday season. Everything is really all about family, food, eating, socializing. What are some quick tips you would give somebody so that way they feel good about the holidays, especially if they're self-conscious? You know, hey, you just ate a big meal, walk for 10 minutes. What are some quick tips to make people feel good about themselves?
Well, first of all, this is the mental part that we talk about. Feeling good about yourself, it's not just a word that you can give somebody that automatically would just register, because it starts from within, from the beginning, right? No matter what I say, I can make you feel good for the moment, but that's why I work so hard to mentally encourage people to have the correct mindset all throughout the year, right? Because if you eat a big meal, even me, when I eat a big meal, oh God, I need to go work out. It's just a thing that we say, but do I really feel that way? But for somebody that feels self-conscious about it, you really probably should take a look at yourself internally and see if this is just a moment that you're feeling this way around the holiday time, or if it's something that you need to evaluate yourself and potentially get help for living a good life long-wise, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it does. Let's play my favorite game, which is rapid fire. I love to see how people's minds work. So I'm going to throw some questions at you, and I want to hear the first thing you think of when I say these things.
Okay.
What clock do you use? Standard 12 or military time?
Military time.
Do you find it's easier, or do you find yourself annoyed with people who don't know military time?
It's easier. I'm programmed.
Programmed, okay. Okay. What would you say are the best 3 workout tips you can give somebody first thing they wake up in the morning?
First 3 workout tips is to don't procrastinate, to eat a good meal, and to be consistent.
Absolutely. What would you say are the best 3 qualities any person in the military has?
Integrity, service before self, and excellence in all you do.
Absolutely. Last but not least, because it's the holidays, you're going to a holiday party. What are you bringing?
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs. I'm bringing to-go boxes because I'm selfish.
Oh, that too. That too.
I'm making sure I have my to-go food ready to go, and then I'll enjoy the rest of my food. I love it. Now, I want to ask this one last thing, because you find service so near and dear to your heart. What is some information or a message you want to give the people, especially during this time of the year?
Well, I just want people to, it's a lot going on in the world with the military, and we have to do our best to just kind of stay positive throughout it all, right? We have to make sure that while we're enjoying our homes, because a lot of people are away, they're deployed, they're fighting for our country, and they don't get to enjoy what we're enjoying. So just remember those that are not as happy as we are because they're in tents or somewhere on the front line defending the country. And that's very important for me. Remember to write them letters or send them boxes. Let them know that we're thinking about them and they're not out of sight, out of mind. And a lot of us forget about that, because the military, it is a very sacrificial part of your life that you miss out on a lot of things that some people around this time of year are enjoying. So that's what I would say, to make sure we just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. DeBlair, how can people stay in touch with you? How can they follow you on social media? What's the stitch?
Well, you can get in contact with me on my Instagram at I am DeBlair, and on my Instagram in my bio there is a link tree where it takes you to everything. It takes you to my book, my programs, my conferences. Everything that I'm doing is there. Also with Adrian at the IPY agency, you can reach out to me there, and it's an open book from there. So
I love it. Perfect. Thank you. This is Live in Local Atlanta. I'm your host, Alyssa. Of course, if you want to stay up to date and get exclusive conversations just like this one, make sure you download the free Odyssey app today. That's AUDACY inside the App Store. And favorite Star 94 Atlanta. If you want to stay up to date with me, you can follow me across all social media at itsme_Alyssa D, and follow Star 94 Atlanta across all socials at Star 94 Atlanta. I'll see you guys next time.
Star 94.1.